Well, if you saw my last video about the untidy workshop, then you'll notice that it is a bit tidier than it was. I did make a bit of an effort and I've tidied up a bit. But what I was mainly doing in the workshop was making another workbench. So this is going to be the, I suppose, the electronics end, the really clean end. What I'm going to do today is the guy that I modified the CG125 alternator windings for has went and bought one of these off of eBay. Rectifier Regulator. Exactly the type I said not to buy, an unbranded one. He's handed it to me. He says, can you check it out before I fit it and tell me if it's all right? So that's what I'm going to do. But if you look on here, that's the Lucas type for the three I've done that I've used. And it does look identical. It's got a different lead on it. You know, there's no connector on this. This is somebody, I think it's in Indonesia or somewhere like that. He's opened up one of these type from China, but kind with a pink lead on it instead of two yellow ones. There's a yellow and a pink, and he's opened it up because it wasn't working properly, and it turns out it's just a full wave bridge rectifier. There's no regulation whatsoever. So here's one of the ones on eBay. It's got a pink lead. These seem to be the problematic ones. Anyway, I'm going to test this one and see how it works, see if it works. Now I'll start by doing a diode test on this because I assume the first section is simply just a bridge rectifier. So if we go into diode test, yep, we'll go with the negative one. So let me see, I'll take one of these yellows, which is the single phase AC input. What will we get there? 0.556, but if I go the other way, it should show nothing. Yep, total overload. If I go to the other yellow, to the negative, it should show nothing one way, and show more or less the same the other way. Now there should be circuitry, regulation circuitry on the positive output, so I'm not sure if it will work the same. I wouldn't expect it to, so let's go into there, yep, nothing there. Here's about that one, nothing again. I'll reverse them. Now that's showing just like a diode, which I would not have expected. And that's the same. I've got here a standard bridge rectifier. It's got markings on it. So there's an AC input. So if I go to there and I'll go to the positive, nothing that way, so try it the other way. Yep, it's very similar. Right, I'll need to test this then. Hook it up to something, a charging system. Right, I've got this rectifier regulator temporarily set up on my Honda CG125, and we'll see if it actually regulates properly. I'll put this onto the voltage here, and I'll start the bike up. We don't really want it going any higher than about 14.5 volts. And then I'll switch the lights on and things, and brake lights, indicators, and we'll see if it can hold it at about 13 volts or something. Well, that looks like it works fine. It was regulating. It was holding it a bit above 14 volts with no load. And when I put a load on it, headlights, brake lights, indicators and things, it was holding it, about 13.5 volts or something. It actually looks like it's working fine. The only difference I can see between this and the Lucas one is that the Lucas has a red potting resin in there, and the Lucas one's got a fancy connector already on it. But he might have got lucky. I don't know what he paid for it. But what I did do, I went on to AliExpress and I looked to see if I could find, because these come from China, and I found one that looks like that. But it's one of these ones that's got one yellow and one pink wire coming out, and they, as I think I mentioned before, they seem to be the ones that cause the problems. And that looks exactly the same casting. It's even got the hole there is not in the centre, it's slightly offset to one side. So it's definitely the same casting, but it's one of these with a pink wire and a yellow wire instead of two yellow wires. I don't know what the significance of that is, but it does say it's a regulator rectifier. I might get one and test it, and we'll see. If it works fine, I'll just keep it as a spare for somebody. And if it doesn't work, I'll open it up and see what's inside it. What do you think of the new workbench? Is it quite good? That's the door. That's the light switch. Is it good? Does it meet with approval? And the heater's on, so you should like it. What do you think? Seems to be alright. Don't sit in the keyboard. Don't sit in the keyboard. What's up there? Nothing. Nothing. I'll lift you down. I'll lift you down, eh?